Are we ready? Yes. Maya? Okay. I'm here. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh my God, you made it. It's another episode of We Did That Shit.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Babi.
So let's just get right into it. What is good hair?
What is good hair? Is hair.
What is good hair?
Is there such thing as bad hair?
Well, I think that my question really stems from, you know how they have that, oh, you have pretty hair, as opposed to you have quote unquote nappy hair or coarse hair or rough hair, whatever we're calling it, you know. So when I pose the question, what is good hair, that's what I mean. Me, myself, personally, I hate that question. What is good hair? I don't like that toss up between, oh, you have pretty hair just because you have fine, straight hair, or you have bad hair because your hair is coarse. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Nothing grinds my gears more than someone telling me, no, seriously, nothing grinds my gears more than someone telling me, oh, you have good hair. I despise that. Because it's stating that someone else has bad hair, and they have bad hair just because you think that their hair is not straight or manageable or fine or, you know, any of those things. That's why you feel like
European-esque, right? That's what they say. You know, if your hair is not European-esque, it's bad hair. But, you know, I don't have bad hair. I like my hair. Now,
no, I don't think any of us have bad.
Right, we don't. If you know, it is what it is, and there's I like the fact that today we're embracing more of our own natural hair, our own natural styles, our own. Now, some people have natural hair. Natural does not mean don't comb it.
Right.
You know, natural does not mean like don't brush it, don't, you know, I don't like unkept hair.
Right.
Because unkept hair, that's not natural, especially if you did something to make it look wild like that. It's not natural. Unkept hair, you just look uncivilized. And we live in a civilized society. So, no, you don't have to slick your edges down with edge control, put gel, grease, pomade on your hair. You don't have to do all that. And you can wear your hair in a natural style, but just uncombed, unbrushed, untamed, or anything that's manipulated to look wild, you just look uncivilized. But I still wouldn't say you had bad hair.
Style, you know, style. You style your hair. You know what I'm saying? You don't just wake up in the morning and walk out the door without styling your hair, even if it's nothing but running your hands through your hair. But I just don't like that good hair versus bad hair thing. And we do it so much in our own communities. You know, we think that one is better than the other. And nothing, you know, I remember when I first moved to Virginia, you know, I was trying to find someone to do my hair. And I tried a couple of salons, but one salon in particular I went into, the guy, as soon as he saw me and he saw me walk in and I sat down in his chair, he was like, ooh, you got some pretty hair. Now, at first, it was just like, oh, okay, I'm thinking he's saying, no, you know, because my hair was semi-done when I went in there, you know. So I'm thinking he's just commenting on the way that my hair was cut or something like that. But the more he started, like, running his fingers through my hair, he was like, girl, you got some pretty hair. What, you got Indian in your family? You know, just like playing around. And I just was like, he was like, because you don't see people around here with hair like this. And I was like, well, what do you see people around here with hair like? He was like, they got that bad hair, child, that nappy hair. And I just, like, went off because I'm like, don't say that to me. Don't say because I have a certain texture of hair and another person has a certain texture of hair that my hair is better than theirs. Nothing is better. Nothing is better than the other one. And when it comes down to black women or black men, you know, specifically because we're black women, no hair is bad hair. So I kept telling him, I said, with the way that my hair is, you can't put certain things in my hair. You know, it weighs down my hair. Don't put grease in my hair. Don't put a bunch of oil in my hair. You know, it weighs down. Just do it. And, you know, I'm telling him this is the first time that he's ever done my hair, so I'm trying to give him some pointers. He's like, oh, no, I know what to do. I know what to do. Walk out of there with my hair looking like a weighed-down helmet because he did his own thing, because you do everyone's hair the same. But if you stuck to what it was that you were saying in the sense of, oh, you have pretty hair, then you would know, don't do certain things with this texture of hair. And that was the reason why I told him from the beginning. And, again, I told him when I was leaving, when I looked at my hair, I just wanted to cry. I was so mad. I just was like, let me just get up out of here. He was like, you don't like it? I said, I'm just ready to go. I had to come home, wash my hair. That neither being here nor there.
Wash your hair, so you just wasted all that money?
Yeah, I did, because there was no way on God's green earth that I was going to walk around with a helmet head.
Right.
And I wasn't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you washed my hair. You didn't blow dry my hair. You know, like I get my hair round brush blow dry, but everybody can't round brush, so that's fine. Just blow dry my hair and or wrap my hair and put me under the dryer and let me dry that way. No, he washed my hair, sat me under the dryer with my hair hanging, and just let my hair. So I was already going to have helmet hair anyway, just the way that it was all set up. You know what I mean? But then when he started putting all of the Kimi oil grease, you remember Kimi oil?
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think they make Kimi oil anymore. And I specifically remember it being Kimi oil because I was like, damn, you still got Kimi oil?
Kimi oil grease.
Kimi oil grease.
I didn't know they used that in salon.
No, me either. Right. Oil. I mean, Kimi oil grease is like blue magic. You know, when you back in the day, you walk in, you know, your grandma's house or your mom's house in the medicine cabinet, and they got the jar of blue grease, which my mom
still have a jar of blue grease. That's right. I mean,
every now and again, you need that blue grease.
Yes, to lay something down. That's right.
One thing's for certain and two things for sure ain't nothing. No matter how dry your scalp is, go and moisturize your scalp like some blue magic. But anyway, he put the Kimi oil in. Then he proceeded to flat iron my hair, and like I said, it was destined to be helmet hair from the beginning. So I had to go home and wash my hair, but not before I gave him a long talk while he was doing my hair, after he got finished doing my hair. And like I told him in that conversation, you make customers, a hairdresser makes customers feel a certain type of way, not just with the way that they do their style, and they make them have confidence in themselves, because hair makes you have confidence in yourself. When you sit down and you tell a customer, I'm sitting in your chair, and another customer is sitting in another chair, that I have good hair as opposed to their hair, because you're not going to sit there and say, oh, girl, you got some badass hair. Look at this. This is bad. You're not going to do that. So don't say good versus bad. I don't like that.
I don't like it either. But, you know, that just goes, that's a claim to the years and years and years of the classism. This last time when I went to South Africa, we did a tour, and we went to the District 6 Museum. And first of all, you know, when I think it was the Dutch that landed in Cape Town, it's like the tip of South Africa. The Dutch, you know, those boats, it was all men on the boats and everything. And then 9 months later, you saw little colored children running around, you know. So, and South Africa is still very classist. You know, they're very classist. So they were like, even though they called if you were born, I think after 1992, you were born free, but they still are very classist. So they have the whites and the honorary whites, which were Chinese people, and they used to consider the Japanese colored, but then the Japanese, in their tradition, they bow when they greet. So the whites accepted that as humility, so they made them honorary whites instead of being colored. So it's the whites, the honorary whites, then the coloreds, then the Indians, and then the blacks. So, but to be considered colored didn't go by your complexion. To be considered colored, you have to pass the pencil test. And the pencil test was, they put the pencil in your hair. If the pencil fell out, you were colored. If it stayed in, you were black. And so historically, not just in South Africa, but here too, historically, there's always been that class is, good hair is most European-like. And I used to always say, like, and even as a young person, I was like, I don't have hair like that. I don't have that, because I went to school, I went to school in white districts and stuff, and they got lice. Let me tell you something. We got bergamot. We don't get lice. We got hot combs. We don't get lice.
Right.
But I remember, like, we used to, like, get out of school because the kids had lice. And I was like, Mom, what's lice? They got lice. Right. And we comb. You know what I mean? And so, you talk about good hair. I got good hair because I don't get lice.
Right.
So, what I mean? And, yeah, I don't like it either. And, like, again, whatever they say, I really don't care what they say because it's them. But I don't like when we say it amongst ourselves.
Right, because, specifically I'm talking about within our own community. I haven't experienced, I've experienced a lot of things with other cultures, but I haven't experienced another culture saying to my hair, oh, you have good hair and someone else has bad hair. I haven't experienced that,
Right.
And I go to a white hairdresser, Yeah, I know it's shocking, but I do. I go to a white hairdresser, and he doesn't treat any of his clients that way. In good hair, bad hair, hair is hair.
Right.
If you need a little more, if you need a little more straightening than the next person, then you just need a little more straightening than the next person. But hair is hair,
Right. And it's not about me; it's about what you want. If you want your hair straight, we can get it straight. If you want your hair curly, we can get it curly. If you want your hair wavy, we can get it wavy. And I think that's the exciting thing about hair is, especially black hair, it's an accessory, and we have so many options of what we can do, with our hair. And, hair is, even if you cut all your hair off, hair is an accessory. It accentuates your face. It highlights your outfit. It's hair. It's supposed to be fun. I don't think it should be so, weighed down. But there's just so many things surrounding hair. Now, like I'm a nurse, not a nurse, and I'm also like a hairdresser, not a hairdresser. But when I do hair, people are like, I used to do relaxers and all that other kind of stuff. But I just like natural hair now. I like natural hair. And my cousin's wife, she was like, I love her hair. She has, like a gazillion million strands of hair. And it's lush and healthy. And wherever you put it, that's where it stays. I love to do her hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like whatever. I was like, you could do so many things. If I had her hair, I would be late for work every day because I would just do my hair something different every day.
Right.
Just like it would just be like. I mean, I'm probably lying because I don't even do that with my own hair. But it just was like when I do her hair, I just be wanting to try all these kinds of things because she just has that kind of beautiful hair, nice, thick, beautiful hair. I love it. And she'd be like, oh, my gosh. And I'm like, girl, this is it.
Yeah, count your blessings that you got.
Exactly.
I started this out with edges the key to life. Now, you got a head full of hair, probably got good edges, and you gotta count your blessings because a lot of people don't.
Yes, a beautiful me. But, I have to agree with you. I really don't like when, they say, oh, you have good hair, you have bad hair. I got my hair done in Africa once, and the lady asked me, was I black? I just looked at her like,
Well, I get that all the time. I get mixed. Are you mixed with something? You have to be half Spanish. You have to be this. You have to be that because of the way that your hair is. And when I was younger, it was, oh, you think you're cute because you got that long, pretty hair. Or, oh, look at her with that long, pretty hair. She thinks, no. You're focused on it, not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not focused on it at all. It is what it is. It's my hair. And I don't even think that my hair is like, it's nice hair, don't get me wrong, for me. Not because it's fine, not because it's not
you like
coarse,
your hair.
Not because it's just because it's my hair. I like it. It's always been good to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got a little problem going on with my little edge on the side, and I'm telling you, it's my life is dipped. But don't worry, got that good castor oil. And give me some rice water and bring that dip right on up.
Oh, now it's just funny because my client put rice water on her hair the last time she came to get her hair done. She said, I was like, what? So I'm doing her hair, and it feels different, like, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's not doing. And she was like, I use this rice water. It's supposed to be. I said, yeah, don't use that again. Like, because for what I was doing, it was not working out. Like, I was like,
Right.
what are you doing? Because I coiled her hair. And I was like, she was like, yeah, I use rice water. Now, she's one that, like, reads about everything. And, you know, she says she has 4C hair and how she has to manipulate the follicles and, you know, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know, okay, but that was the first time I heard of the rice water stuff. Right. I never heard of it before. So rice water is supposed to be like when you soak the rice, it's the nutrient, the starch from the rice that's supposed to strengthen the hair or something. But it wasn't working for what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Right.
So what is it? Yeah.
I don't think that it, real quick, I'll just touch on it. I was talking to our cousin. I was talking to Imani's friend. She had an incident at work where she works with adults with special needs, and she had an incident at work where one of the clients pulled her hair out. You know, he kind of like attacked her, couldn't get something that he wanted, and I don't think that it was a necessary like I'm specifically attacking you, but it was just her in front of him, and it was something that he went through. You know, and so he wrapped his hand around her hair and was pulling at her hair. But see, the other staff members were pulling her the other way, trying to get her off, you know. And so anyway, her hair got pulled down to like the scalp. I mean, where it was like bald, baby bald scalp, you know. It took out like a patch of her hair. Well, anyway, she looked it up and she saw rice water help. And so I was talking to her on FaceTime, and she was like, she was showing me her hair. They showed me the before picture, and they showed me the after picture. And let me tell you something. Her hair had grown back. Not completely, but it was on the verge of growing back. And she was using the castor oil and the rice water, and she said she had only been using it for like a week. And when I tell you smooth bald, and the way that the hair was, I was like, oh, girl, I'm going to call you back. Let me go soak some rice because, I'm going to need that in my life because I got to get this edge under control. So, yeah, that's just to touch on that. I mean, I don't know if it worked yet. I'll keep you posted because I haven't tried it out, but I'm going to try it out. Now, I think that if you're going to get styles and stuff like that you probably got to, wash the rice water out. Again, I don't know how it happens. I'm going to have to do it like on a weekend and just let it sit there and see what happens. And I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, let me know because the rice water wasn't working out for my purposes. And I just did her hair again yesterday. And I was like, you didn't put any rice water stuff in there, did you? And she was like, no. And, we were back in business. Everything was, rolling like roll. So, but, there's always new products and new things coming out or whatever. And the point is your hair is an accessory. Everybody has good hair. Even if you choose to shave it off, it's yours. You can do what you want, And if it makes you happy, then I'm happy for you. That's just how I feel about hair. But I do not like unkept hair. Like I don't see somebody where it is truly obvious that you ain't combed your hair in a month of Sundays and try to act like, oh, she just wears her hair natural. No, that's trifling. That's trifling. And there's a difference to me. Right. I just think, we live in a civilized society, and I just think it's civilized to comb your hair. Now, however you want to comb it or whatever, that's fine. But, comb your hair. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Let's talk about hair perception.
Oh. This is a good one. Because we say, India Arie has a song, I Am Not My Hair, and you really aren't your hair because, you're the same person regardless of what your hair looks like, And for a person like me, I used to change my hair all the time, like literally day to day. I could go to work and I'm feeling like you know what, I'm going to put on this short blonde wig. And the very next day, be like, you know what, I'm going to put on this long black wig. And the day after that, it was like, you know what, I'm going to have some burgundy curls. You know, like I used to do that. I used to change my hair like all the time. And when I worked a job, I was a nurse, but I was still responsible for some sales. And that's when I learned, and it came to me when I was driving home, but that's when I learned that, you know, most people, you know, like, let's just, you know, white people just say, white people, they identify people by their hair. They'll say, you know, Kathy, you know, the blonde, you know, Rachel, the brunette, you know, oh, you know, Jackie, she's a redhead, you know. So I started to think that, you know, maybe they don't know me like they know me, but the first thing they look at is hair. So I noticed that sometimes I would go to places I had been there before, and the people had no clue who I was until we're like 20 minutes into a conversation, and then they're like, oh, you know, and sometimes they wouldn't say oh, but then it would click, and you could tell in the conversation that they didn't know, you know, what was going on until we start talking about stuff. So I said, well, you know what? So what I did was I wore my hair pretty much the same way for a year, and I saw the difference. You know, I saw the difference. And people, they were like, but what they were doing was they would recognize me by my hair first.
Right.
So then I started to say, like, you know, if you have to know me, you know, you have to know me. You can't go by my hair because I change my hair all the time. Exactly. So then it was like, you know.
What about a blonde person wants to be a redhead now, which happens. So if you are identifying with the blonde, you know, Susan's not a blonde anymore. Then what?
But you know what I noticed? They notice when they cut, if they get their hair cut, trimmed, colored, tinted, highlighted, they notice that stuff like instantly. Oh my gosh, what did you do to your hair? Yeah, exactly. But ours is usually like more drastic. You know what I mean? Like we do more drastic things to our hair. So after like the first year and, you know, people started to settle into my hairdo, I would start saying, because then I was like, I can't keep wearing my hair like this forever and ever because, you know, I like different stuff. So I said, I would say something like, oh, you know, it's about to be spring. I'm feeling spunky. I think I'm going to go blonde. So kind of like preparing them. So like saying the next time you see me, you know, look for me, not my hair. You know, but it really did work. And I don't know what made me think of it or why I tried to do it, but it really did work. I saw how the relationships kind of changed. The sales in the areas would go up. It really is a thing. You know, people's perception of hair. It is.
It is a thing. I mean, I remember a friend telling me about a time where he used to wear dreads. You know, and so, and nice dreads, neat, you know, always had them twisted, always had them pinned back. You know, he works in corporate America, and he was successful, but not as successful as he was when he cut his hair. You know, he, for a long time, he was going back and forth with, should I cut my hair? Should I keep it? Should I cut it? Should I keep it? And then one day, you know, he cut his hair, and it was like, oh, okay, now you are something totally different. And it made me mad when he told me the story. I mean, the first thing I asked him was, did you cut your hair because you wanted to cut your hair, or did you cut your hair because you felt the need to cut your hair based off of your job, based off of the way that they were viewing you because of your appearance? Because if you cut your hair because you was just tired of your dreads, or because you were balding and you just needed to cut your hair because you, no disrespect to Stevie Wonder, but you didn't want to Stevie Wonder, that's one thing. But for you to cut your hair based off of the fact that you feel like your career is stalled because of it, you know, that's something totally different. And so he was saying that he thought that it was because he had the dreads, you know, and he was tired of them. So it was a cross. He was kind of tired of them. You know, it was all
and
the
he thought that was a hindrance anyway.
And then he thought it was a hindrance anyway. So it was just a good decision. And I really was perturbed by that whole conversation because I'm like, it doesn't take away who you are. It doesn't, because, you know, smart. He's an engineer, you know your job, you know it well, you do it well. It didn't take away from your performance, but you're judging me based off of how I look. even though I'm not coming in here with unkept, unmanaged, anything. It's just because it's something that you're not used to.
Or like,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes, you're not used to. You don't like. You feel uncomfortable based off of it because you're focused more on that and not on the work that I'm doing. And now that I'm hearing your story on you saying that changing your hair or keeping your hair, not changing your hair, but keeping your hair the same way, that burns me up too. We are individuals. Like you said, hair is an accessory. I should be able to change my hair the way I want to. I should be able to cut it, color it, not have it, wear a wig, wear a weave. Whatever it is that I want to do, I should be able to do that and not be judged off of my hair.
Right. And speaking of judging, so there was the person who applied for the job, right? And the job didn't hire them because they had locks. And so they sued for discrimination because they're saying, like, well, they didn't hire me because I have locks and they don't hire anyone with locks. But the court ruled in the company's favor and said they had the right to not hire you because it's not a part of the equal opportunity employment fund, whatever. It's not the same because they said, well, they didn't hire you based on your race or it was like your style of choice. Like, how crazy is that?
It's very crazy because if a white person came in there and they had dreads, would you not hire them? And every white person that I've ever seen with dreadlocks are unkept, unmanaged. They're not neat at all. So
well, according to this company's protocol, yes. According to this company's protocol, I think that would be a yes. Like anyone who has locks, like you can't work. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that I believe it or, I'm not getting into any of that because we're really, just talking about the hair. But it's baffles me how we can not discriminate on religion, race, gender, but now you can discriminate on characteristics. Like our hair, you know what I mean? Like, so we've taken those big things away, but now we can get down to the little things.
Right.
And I think that's, I don't know. I don't know. That's a little something special because I remember. It is. But even if we're in it already, even if we got the job, it's another excuse to take. Well, I don't like the way, especially sales, because people buy things or agree to things from people that they like. And so if there's something physical about you that they don't like, then they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to use your product. They're not going to use your service. It's just as simple as that. So I have a lot of people. I know a lot of people in sales, and I tell them all the time, and some people that they're in sales and they're just getting started and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, but sales is something like you are your own PR. You have to look the part. You have to, or you're not going to make it. Even if you get the job, you're not going to be successful because that really is you have to look the part. Now the game can be played a whole different kind of ways. Yeah, but you could do the tit for tat.
Played a whole different kinds of ways. However,
but
that
looking the part,
looking the part
is
that you
very
have to play because go ahead.
I think that's a part of the game that everybody has to play because you can play your game different. So everybody has different techniques as far as, the closing and getting customers and things like that. But I think that's something where you have to look the part, hair, head to toe. You have to look the part. I'm just saying.
It's a standard the way that you think that the part
exactly.
looks, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's a standard in the way that you are supposed to look across the board. That's what I mean by playing a game. You have to look that part. You have to play that game where you look that way because people who are getting penalized.
Okay, I just think that I don't think that's playing. I don't think that's play. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's playing the game. I think that's getting in the game. It's two different things. You can't get in the game. You got to look a certain way to get in the game, and then however you play is something totally different. That's just how I see it.
But that's my point is you have to look a certain way to get into the game. Getting into the game initially is still playing the game. We have to play what I mean by that is we have to play the game. We wear colorful clothing, right? Let's just say if we all dressed every day in traditional African garb, right?
Yes.
And then we went to go try to get this job. and we had dreads in our head, and they were pulled back, but they were, or even if we wore a head wrap, we wore anything. We can't get into the game if we look that way, right? We have to start off like from the time that you're a child. You got to play the game, especially when you get ready to go and get into the work field. You got to play the game. So it's not even about it's not just when you get in the game then you got to play the game. No, you got to play the game to get in the game. We have to do that, not anybody else.
Right.
We have to wear our hair a certain kind of way. We have to wear our clothes a certain kind of way. Specific to this topic, our hair, we can't go in there with a traditional African crown on our head, and a crown by meaning material that we've wrapped up in a certain way on our head. We can't do that and go get a job.
Right.
It goes back to a time where I went for a job interview, right? I had applied for some jobs up at the Camden Court, and I had just got my hair done the day before they called me for the interview. And I used to wear my hair, I used to wear my hair in cornrows, like real thin to the back cornrows with my own hair. And that's all they was. They were like to the back, and they had like a little bead on the bottom or whatever. But that's just how I used to wear my hair every summer. And they had just called me for the interview, and I was like, damn, what am I going to do? I just sat all of these hours and got these cornrows done. So there's no way that I'm taking them out by tomorrow so that I could go for this job interview. But I also knew that I could not go to this job interview with these braids in my hair because
so you knew, or that's how you felt? Is that right? I know. That's how I felt, and I knew 100% that I couldn't go. Nobody told me, but nobody tells us anything. It's an unwritten manual that you have to have, especially when you want to get into the workforce. So that's what I mean by playing the game. I knew that I couldn't go with these cornrows in my hair. I knew that I had to look apart, like you said, and I knew that I had to play the game a certain kind of way so that I could get into this job. So when I got to play the game to get into it, and I got to play the game when I get in the door. So I went and I got my first wig. I ain't wore a wig since. I went to the store. I said, all right, let me get me a little wig. I ain't know wigs cost so much damn money. Wigs is expensive, honey. So I was like, all right, I only need this wig for one day. Let me get I said, I'm going to get this little wig. It was $20, $19.99. I'll never forget. Had a little, Chinese cut bang. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but that's what we call them, Chinese cut bang, straight bang across, and it was a wrap on the side, hanging long. I said, all right, this is cool because this is the way that I wear my regular hair. So what I'm going to do is have the bang, and I'm going to pull the back in a bun. Now, growing up, when we watch TV and stuff like that, you always see the women in corporate America, they got a tight bun, a black business suit, and a little briefcase, or a skirt business suit and a briefcase. I didn't wear skirts like that back then. So I had a black pantsuit, black leather portfolio, and a tight bun with that wig. And when I sat across from them, I was in my mind the whole time. I really think that wig was the reason why I didn't get the job, because I thought in my mind the whole time they ain't focusing on nothing but this damn wig. Well, why do you feel they were focused on the wig? Was it twisted? Was it out of place? Was it? And I mean, Maya, I love you, but you have a small head. Exactly. And you have a small head.
It like a big lump on top of my head, and they probably was looking at me like, this girl got this lump on top of her head, and they probably couldn't focus on nothing but the lump because I didn't focusing on it. So I say all of that to say I couldn't go in there. It's an unwritten rule. I had to play the game. I did not think that I could go in there and win those people over. No matter how much education I had, I was overqualified for the job. None of that mattered. All that mattered was my first thought was not preparing for the interview. It wasn't making sure that I knew everything that I needed to know about the Camden Court so I could go up there and impress them with my wordplay. It was none of that. It was about my hair. So that is the hair perception that we continuously have to go through.
Right. It's a forever education process. It's, because we have to be mindful of who we were and who we are and, where we're trying to go. and it is a self-acceptance process, which is harder for some people. You know, a lot of people just cannot accept who they are. You know, it's a lot of self-hatred out there. It's terrible. And, you know, you think like something is so meaningless as hair, but it's so important to so many people. It's so important. Do you know how many millions of dollars is spent in hair and hair care and hair products and hair services?
Right.
You know,
$1 billion.
It is. And is it worth all of that?
Is it worth all of that? Is it worth all of that? And that brings me to the next point. No, go ahead before I go.
No, I'm just saying, because go ahead, say the point, because that's what it's about. Like, go ahead.
My next point would be, does the cost have value? Like, is it worth it?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So we have like Bonner Brothers. Bonner Brothers is black, and they have their own product line. They're doing a lot down there in the South. We don't see a lot of Bonner Brothers. Like, you can get it up here, but people don't really use a lot of Bonner Brothers. But I just, you know, wherever we could be successful in something, I'm all for it. You know, I think that's great. But I don't have a lot of products. I don't have a lot of hair products. I don't. I have shampoo.
You don't use stuff? Or?
No. I have shampoo. I have conditioner. And I'm not one to try new products just because they came out. If something is working for me, I pretty much go with that, especially with my hair, because when I have to wash my hair, once I rinse out the conditioner, I'm on a strict timeline where I got to get this hair wrestled to the ground before it starts to dry completely. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so I have my go-to stuff, but I don't have a lot of products. But, you know, products are selling, you know.
Listen,
I've tested something.
Go ahead.
It is. No, I was just saying, like, how, like, when we go to Essence and they have all the products they give out, whatever. I've tested some things. Some things I like. Like, I like what they do, but then, like, it flakes too much or it dries me out, or, you know, so I just can't always use it. And I don't want to, you know, because if you like the products, use the products. But I'm just saying, it's a $1 billion industry, not just the products, but hair itself. Like, people buy hair. Right.
Listen, it's 2 points that I want to make in regards to does the cost have value and is it worth it? One, yes, it's worth it, because I know myself, I drive from Virginia to Philadelphia to get my hair done.
Yes, you do.
I told y'all the story about the man with the helmet head. So after that, I was very reluctant in trying to purposely find a hairdresser in Virginia. I said, you know what?
Right.
I live in the metro area. Philly ain't that far. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with what I got, what I know, what works for me, what has my edges being prosperous. That's just what I'm going to do. So I say yes because I drive. It's a cost for me to go get my hair done. Yeah. I don't just pay for the service. I pay for gas. I pay for tolls, and they ain't cheap. You know, I pay for parking. Right. I pay for my time. And I don't mind it one bit. You know why? Because when I walk out of there, I'm going to feel good. I'm going to look good. It's all good. So I pay a lot of money in regards to my hair, and I wouldn't change a thing. When we think about those bundles that people buy, and they're like all that kind, you know, what is it, $500, $400, $700, $1,000?
Rent money is what it is. Right.
That's true. However, for people who wear weaves on a continuing basis, yes, I think that they feel like it's worth it, because it's a difference in the way that the hair feels. It's a difference in the shedding of the hair. It's a difference in the way, the luxurious, the luxury that you feel with the nice bundles. And I ain't never had them, but I've seen them. I was talking like I get bundles all the time, wasn't I?
I was just about to say, Ryan,
I sound like I'm doing this bundle thing. No, I'm not doing the bundle thing, but I had purchased bundles for, my little cousin, and I had and I had been with
like as a
gift.
Like,
Well,
is that
just as
present?
a-
Is that presents material now? Like, is that a gift? Like, is Valentine's Day?
Yeah, people
Hazel,
get
I got you
bundles
some
for
bundles.
gifts.
Okay.
Yeah, listen,
I'm
did
not asking. I don't know.
Listen, did I say how much they cost? 400, 500. I didn't pay
Yeah,
that much. Right,
sound like
by
a
no
gift
means
to
did
me.
I pay that much. However, that's a gift. If
Mhm.
I brought somebody some bundles, like you don't got to give me my money back value bundles, that's your Christmas gift, Easter,
Right.
Valentine's Day, what else is it? Birthday, St. Patrick's Day, Black History
Right.
Month. Yeah, that's all that wrapped into one.
Right.
That's your gift.
But I mean, I'm not into like the weave like that, whatever. I've done a couple sew-ins, for Deja back in the day, but wasn't really her thing. She was going on a trip, wasn't really my thing. We just put it in there for the trip, took it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like I can't fathom your hair costing as much as your rent, or your hair is intact and you don't have any food in the refrigerator. Like, if you can afford it, I think that's great.
Cool.
Even though I do know people who don't have, financial issues or anything like that, they can get with it. And I know somebody who's paid a lot of money for like a weave or a lace front or sewing, and it looks straight crazy. And I'd be like, you need to go to jail, go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200, because you need to get your money back, because that looks a hot mess. Like, a hot mess.
Right.
Like, I don't even know how these people have customers. Like, a hot mess. And they spent a lot of money, but I just can't, to me, I don't know. That's a lot of money. Like, I don't even like charging.
But we spend a lot of money on everything.
That's true. But when I do people's hair, I don't even like to charge them a lot of money, because deep down, I get a sense of satisfaction out of doing it. It's like artwork to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to like set a price, and stuff like that, even though I'm going to get better about that, because I'm just trying to be more responsible. And, so I don't know, but I do believe it has value. I don't believe it's always worth the cost in every case. I think every case is different. But for you, if you say it is worth it for me to go to Philadelphia and not have to worry about what my hair is going to look like, well, that has value for you, and that may be worth the cost for you. But I do my own hair, so it wouldn't be like me trying to find a hairdresser. I do have like a girl that I go to if I don't feel like trimming my hair, or if I want a nice conditioning treatment and I don't feel like washing it myself. I mean, dang, Maya.
No, I can't get over that. I can't get over that. I can't get over the fact that here's the thing.
Beautician.
Let me tell you something. She could be the greatest beautician in the world, but the perception that I had when I walked in there was that she a poop putt. And the reason being is because of this. When you go into somebody's business, you want them to be handling business. This girl, we walked into the salon. You was coming for a consultation. I was coming just as your guest, just riding for the ride. When we walked in, what made me so mad about the situation, and the reason why I always bring it up, is because I was a potential customer. You don't know me. You know you, right? So when you walked in, it's, hey, babe, whatever. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting at the receptionist's desk eating my lunch. That's strike number one. Strike number two, I'm eating my lunch in front of a potential customer. I tell you, sit down. I'll be right with you. I'm going to finish my lunch. No. I had an appointment. I had an appointment. If the appointment is at 4 and you sit down to eat your lunch at 3:50, when I walk in at 4, you need to put your lunch down and come handle your business, especially when you're trying to put your best foot forward in front of a potential customer, because I was looking around trying to assess the situation. I might have went back to her. Now, I wasn't going to go to her point blank, period, but the point is she don't know that. But if you would have came in and you would have put your food down and came over and took your appointment and said, hey, sit down, let me go ahead and give you this consultation, then I'll go back to my food, I could have potentially came back. But that wouldn't have never made me go back to that girl. When you tell somebody sit down, I'm going to go ahead and finish my food. Let me tell you something. You don't have to be like my hairdresser, because he like a unicorn. But I've never seen Frank go to the bathroom. I have been in his shop for hours, and I've never seen him take a bathroom break. He sits there. He does the work. He talks to his clients. He makes drinks. He entertains us. He goes out. He feeds the birds. But that's when a person is under the dryer and a person is in the bowl getting their hair washed. Not when I got somebody in my chair and I'm like, wait, here, sit right here. Let me go and get my food from around the corner and eat it, and then I'll be back to do your hair for a service I'm paying for.
But let me get my food around the corner. I mean, it gets more. Well,
Yeah.
I still go to her.
I know you do, but I'm just saying.
I mean, when I
That's a
go,
mess.
I don't go often because, mostly I do my own hair. But if I don't feel like doing it or I need a deep condition or whatever, that's where I go. She'll trim it for me if I need to trim. But I do all of that myself most of the time. Because, and to me, that it's not that I don't have the money to pay. It's just that to me, my time is very important. And
exactly. I don't put your lunch down and do my consultation.
I mean, that is true, but, to sit in the beauty salon for hours and stuff like that, it's just not really my thing. And when people come to me and get their hair done, I try to, I'm not focused on time then either, but I pay all, they get all of my attention, and I'm really into doing the best job I can. Because like I said, for me, it's like an art. It's, let me see what I can do with this. So, I don't think everything is worth it. I don't like when people go to shops and they try to sell you, upsell. You have Shea Moisture products in your salon. I could get Shea Moisture products for $10 in Target, and you in your salon selling them for $15. Like, right? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't like that kind of stuff either. So, the value, I guess that really depends on what you value. But hair for $500, yeah, I don't know if I can get in. I don't know if I can get into that $500 hair.
Well, listen, since we're speaking about $500 hair, and since that came up, let's talk about men in hair. I mean, it's only right when the $500 cost came up in men. I mean, in hair. I think of men buying hair. So, yeah, where my mind goes. Let's talk about men in hair.
Well, I mean, right now there's a lot of things going on with men in hair. One thing is like with these men in the toupees things now. The man, what they call it, the man weave. I'm for the man weave. I am totally.
You are?
Yes, and I think that anybody who is not for the man weave, that is okay with woman weave, is gender biased. Because just like women want their hair done and they want to feel pretty and all that other kind of stuff, men want the same thing. And every man is not okay with, any hair issue that they may have. Right. They may not be ready. And I think it's okay.
And the reason why I'm against men in man weaves is not because I'm trying to be gender biased. Feel good about yourself. But let's say it's millions of men, right? The thousands of men who give women such a hard time about wearing weaves has made me say, oh, okay, now that they have men weaves, you want us to be all gun-ho for it. For years and years and years, you have ridiculed women for wearing weaves. You have something to say about the weave. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. Don't wear a scarf. Don't wear weaves. Wear your natural hair. But then when you wear your natural hair, you're taking too long to do your hair. Come on, it's time to go. A weave makes it easier. Right. A weave makes it easier. So I'm against men. I'm against men weave based off of those things alone. Not because I don't want men to feel good about themselves, but you're not going to do something forever and to me, and now it's okay for you to do it. Because no, hell no. No.
Well, first of all, Maya, how many weaves have you had in your life and somebody telling you don't wear weave?
I don't care if I had none. The point is that I know a bunch of women. I hear it all the time. I have brothers, uncles, cousins, a father. I have all those things. I hear men talk about weaves, and I had 4 weaves in my life. Remember you gave me my first one?
Yes.
You say it's not a weave. It was crochet, a protective style, but it was a
right.
weave to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Okay. But I mean, and I'm not negating anything you say. I agree 110%. And I also agree that, women, sometimes I'm a kind of person, I wear my hair the way I want it because I like it, because I think it looks nice. I know how to manage it. I know what to do with it. I know how I'm going to wear it to work, and then I know how I'm going to take it down when I'm not at work. I do it for me. But some women, they wear their hair to be attractive to other people.
Most of them.
So right. So, and that's really a tough place because they'll like it, but so if you're single, say, all right, I could say say you're single, you wear your hair natural, but today you have a weave. You meet somebody, you think they're nice, they think you're nice, but they like women with natural hair. Well, you have natural hair underneath you. Do you take the weave? You're like, oh, I have natural hair. Like, don't pass me by because you see a weave. So do you take the weave out because that's what you think because you don't really know him. So because you think, or that's what he mentioned that he liked. And, if they're talking to you with the weave, well, when I have my natural, I'm still me.
Right.
And I feel like
no to that.
Men are wishy, but I just say I feel like a lot of men are wishy-washy in that. Like if they like naturals, they meet a woman with a natural hair, that's all they ever want. But nobody wants to wear their hair the same way all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, and do you do it? Do you do what makes you happy, or do you do something that pleases somebody else? Because I can't please you. You know what I mean?
Well,
if you like this style that I chose, I think that's great. But I can't, if you tell me don't cut your hair, I'm like, never. Like, what if I feel like a short cut? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I could do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't know if I can't, I wouldn't. And the reason being is because I feel like a relationship is just like your kids say, right? Not to compare the two, but I'm just saying when parents raise their children, you put all your focus into your children, then your children leave. And then you and your relationship is like, I don't know what to do because we didn't put all this focus on these kids and we don't focus on ourselves, right? So the same thing with hair. I didn't change my hair for you, and then you leave, or we break up or whatever. Now I got this short haircut that I ain't even want from the door when I wanted my long curls because I'm trying to please you. No, I wouldn't do it. I think that you should do what makes you feel good, what makes you happy, because you have to have esteem within yourself. You can't make somebody else can't make you have self-esteem. Somebody else can't tell you how to wear your hair and make you feel good is the point. You have to feel good about that. So if you feel like my head is little, right? We know I got a little head. I don't like wigs,
Right.
I have to get a custom-made wig. I'm not going to say I don't like wigs, but I probably got to get a custom-made because the ones in the store that I wore for that interview was not working, okay? So if I don't get my custom wig, but if all I did was wear wigs and that made me feel good, or I had problems with my hair, I had alopecia, I had thin edges, I had whatever, and wigs is what make me feel good. But then here you come in my life and you're like, no, I don't like that. But I can't wear my natural hair, or even if I could, wigs is what I like. It makes me feel like a new person. It makes me feel good. So no, I wouldn't change my hair for somebody because you have to be happy within yourself. And it goes back to your first statement, men are wishy-washy. You watch a movie and Nia Long got a short bob, now I got to have a short bob. Sanaa Lathan did cut all her hair off, now I got to cut off all my hair. No. If you want Sanaa Lathan or Nia Long, who's walking around 9 times out of 9 with a wig, then that's what you do. Or you get with the wig thing, and I could be whoever you want me to be.
Exactly. But I mean, but that's just like we say that, we don't change who we are for a partner. I think the same thing with the man. If the man, like that's what the man weave, if that's what makes them feel good, if that's what gives them the confidence, if that's what they like, I don't have a problem with the man weave.
I still ain't standing by that, man.
I don't. I think that they should be allowed to, if that's what they want to wear, fine, if they want to embrace, because a woman, they might all right, so say they have the George Jefferson going on. You know what I mean? And they could be
I never
young.
understood. Just cut your hair. Like, what are you holding on to? If you have
Because
the
they're
George
not
Jefferson,
ready.
It's not coming back.
You got
But
the
it's
George
not coming
Jefferson,
back.
you fade the sides and wear a hat is what they do because, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
What?
but we're women. We're women.
What?
What? People do that with the George Jefferson. They cut the sides down and they always keep a hat on.
If somebody was with me and they took their hat off and they had a George Jefferson, like, what you gonna wear a hat every step of the way, even if we laying down?
Not when they laying down, but that's what a lot of them do because they're just not ready to be bald. They're just not ready to be bald. And speaking of bald, do you know women have, it's called male pattern baldness, but women get it too?
Yeah.
So a lot of women who, you know, some of them think that they have alopecia, but really it's male pattern baldness that they have. Because I do know a woman with the George Jefferson. But anyway, I'm just saying for men, just like how we feel as women, we want our, you know, because dudes, they go to a barbershop like every week. You know, they got to get a line a couple times a week and then, you know, cut it down. They like their fade perfect, their high top perfect, their Gumby perfect, their shag perfect, or, you know, whatever they choosing to wear, you know. So sometimes when they're losing their hair, they just don't be ready. And I just feel like if y'all have something, you know, just like we have stuff, y'all got stuff, and I think it's okay. Now, don't, like, run into me at the Wawa and be like, hey, how you doing? I heard you like man weave. It's not like that. It's not like that. I'm just saying. I think it's okay.
At the Wawa where it all goes down.
But, I mean, I'm just saying, I just think it's okay. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to harp on you about it, like, after I get to know you or something like that or whatever. Like, I'm not going to harp on you because if it makes you feel good and you think you look good with it, I think, you know, that's fine. So, you know, that's just how I feel about that.
That is so hilarious to me. Like, don't run up into me at the Wawa and be like, hey, yo, I heard you like man weave.
Yeah, because they will.
Right,
I mean, like, dudes will do that. Like, they'll be like, oh, no, I got one. She said she don't even mind. I could tell her and be free. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, lie to me, people. Lie to me.
This was,
you know,
in the beginning,
lie to me
it's not lie. You can just keep it from me.
Yeah, withhold that information from me. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer not to have a I'm going to get you sucker moment where you come in and just you take everything off and just none of you is real. But don't withhold that from me, people. Do not tell me that you have the man weave. I know I'm and hey, do what makes you feel good, but you know, again, you have heard so much from men. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. Why you got to wear a scarf to bed? Why you got to wear a bonnet to bed? And that's another thing that kills me. You don't want me to wear a scarf to bed. You don't want me to wear a bonnet to bed, but you want my hair to look good when we go out somewhere. My hair looks good based off of this scarf, sweetie. This scarf was holding it all together. This scarf was making the magic happen. You know, you can't want me to go out with you and look a certain kind of way, but don't want me to do what it takes to look that certain kind of way. I mean, it's a process.
It really is. Now, I think that two things. One, when I don't think hair should hold you hostage. Like, I do my hair is done most of the time. I wear it curly, whatever, but I am a swimmer. You know, I love the water. So and men had said this. I remember we were out on like some kind of boat thing, and it was like a, you know, group of people or whatever, and the guys were like jumping off the boat into the water and stuff. And they were like, no, they were like, no, they're going to sit there. And I was like, I didn't get it. I was like, well, why do women just have to sit here? Why can't we jump off the boat too or whatever? So I went up there and like, they was like, oh, you going to go in? And I was like, yeah. They was like, you going to get your hair wet? And I'm like, well, unless I jump on something that's only 3 feet, you know what I mean? And the rest of me is standing up out the water. Like, I don't. And, you know, they were just saying that, well, one of the guys, he said, yeah, I'm adventurous, and I've never dated, I stopped dating black women because they always like, I can't do this because of my hair, I can't do that because of my hair, you know, and I was like, wow, like, first of all, I don't like I don't like for a black man to say out their mouth that they don't date black women.
Don't
that
date
just,
black women. That's a
Yeah,
whole
like-
nother subject.
Yeah, that just makes my stomach curdle, But they were so fixated on what the perception was about women in their hair, whatever, not getting it wet, that like that's just where they were. But I was like, yeah, well, excuse me, because I swim, and I
Right.
don't, if I just got my hair done and we're in the water, like, oh well, and it has happened, like,
Right.
oh well, and then you see me at dinner later and I got 2 French braids or something, whatever, because all right, I had to wash my hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I could, do this or whatever, but I don't like hair to hold me hostage. Now, I don't use hair as an excuse of why I don't work out. I got plenty other excuses for that. I don't work out because I don't work out. Like, but it's certainly not because of my hair. You know what I mean? So that's one thing about men and hair, men and women, how they perceive women's hair. Like, the other thing is, if you like women and you laying down with a woman, know something about a woman. You know what I mean? Like, know something about a woman. Like, I don't think, now some things, the thing I put on my hair, but I'm single, it's not cute.
At all. At all. I don't care how single you are. It's nothing cute about that thing you put on your head. It's like, I hate it. I hate it. It's like, what in the hell? When I first saw that thing, when you pulled that out, I was like, what kind of contraption is this on top of your damn head? You gonna say, what? But I said, and what did I tell you then? I said, don't ever in your life wear that around no man.
He was like, that's the most unsexy thing I ever seen in my life.
Nothing is sexy about that thing. Like, nothing would make me. Let me tell you something. If you was my woman, I would not be like, come here, baby. No. Nothing about that thing makes me want to get anything on. It makes me want to get out.
I'm just saying. I'm sure there are other things that I could use that might look better, be a little more. But to me, it's easy, it's cheap, and it does the trick like so perfectly. It just, nothing holds it out of my way like that ever. Like, I never go outside with it on anything ever.
I hope not.
I never go outside with it on or nothing, but it just does the trick. But I don't think I've ever worn it in front of a man. I
don't.
Yeah.
Not if you want to.
In fact, I put it on yesterday when I was doing my best friend's hair, and her husband came, and he looked at me. He was like, "Sis, what is that on top of your head?
What is that?" He knows.
And I was like, oh man, but I was home. I don't think about it when I'm home or whatever. So I took it off, put my hair in a ponytail or whatever. But I mean, I could wear it in a ponytail to keep it out my way. But especially when I go to bed, that thing, it just keeps it, perfect, right in one little spot. It's perfect. But I don't know. If I wasn't single, I probably wouldn't wear it as much.
I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, but what are you supposed to do? Like, if you love me, you into me, like, hey, like, this is what I got. Like, what are you supposed to do? I mean, silk pillowcases, they do work. So people who wear bonnets and stuff like that, like, you can put your hair in the little pin curls or put the clips and put it up and just use a silk pillowcase because that works the same as a bonnet. So you don't have to cover your hair. But I think women, they like their scarves. Like, if you have your go-to bonnet, your go-to scarf, we start to like that thing. Like, it gives us a certain amount of comfort.
Bonnet. That's the thing.
Looky here, we're all for that. We're talking about just whatever you wear.
Bringing up old stuff, but man, oh man.
But I'm just saying, like, whatever we wear, whatever your thing is, just like mine, I'm so used to it. I like it. Like, if I had to stop wearing it, I would probably stop wearing my hair curly because how could I give that up? It's the best thing to me.
Right.
I can't give it up. It's so I would just have to wear my hair straight, and I don't know if I don't like my hair straight.
Right.
Because my natural hair just afros up or something. I don't know. just, I don't know what it does. But, straight is too much. So I would have to stop wearing my hair curly if I would have to stop using that thing. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. Because we get comfortable with it. Don't you have a favorite scarf?
Doing right now.
Right.
Actually.
And even on one of my favorite shows on This Is Us, Beth, they be showing Beth with her scarf on going to bed. It's part of who we are. Like, you get attached to that thing. And so that what I'm saying is you get attached to that thing. If you with somebody, then he know what that thing is.
Right.
He got to be able to look past it, even if it looks like mine. That's all I'm saying.
Well, don't wear that in the Wawa, because if that happens, then you won't.
Oh, I can't leave it. Yeah, I can't. No, I mean, I am definitely, first of all, I can't say that, but I am definitely aware that I can never leave the house with that thing. Yeah, I don't leave the house with that thing on. Yeah. And, so when people come over and they just happen to see it, they be like, what is that?
Yes.
And I love it, too. I be so proud. I be so proud, like, I do, because it's genius. It works.
No, it is.
I mean,
now, that's
it is.
Say, but it's ugly. It's ugly as hell. But,
it does the job.
Men,
my curls is intact every day.
Men.
Right.
I'm not okay with the man weave, but do you? And that's just all I got. But B is okay. She wants you to love the skin you're in, and if that makes you happy, then
I don't think there's anything wrong with the man weave. I don't think there's anything wrong with the man weave. So I mean, I think the point what we're trying to make is, hair is an accessory. Mm-hmm. Have fun with your hair, and we shouldn't judge each other over hair. And we certainly want the men to love us for who we are, hair included. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? These are things, if you want to be with a woman, this is things you need to understand about a woman, especially a black woman. Hair is very important. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was fun. I think I want to do my hair now.
When I'm picking up to do, I'll be calling you too, or going to Philly. But before we get out of here, let's go ahead and get into our personal journals for this week.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to start off?
You can if you want.
Listen, I want to start off because my personal journal is a little aggressive this week. I don't think so, but some people it might come off that way. My personal journal this week is about support. I'll say it again. My personal journal for this week is about support. You're listening to two people right now who support a lot of things. A lot of people and a lot of things. It's not a bunch of stuff that people have, even with me living in Virginia and all of my family and friends living in New Jersey. It's not a lot of things that people have that I don't come and support. I can't make everything, but I try to make the majority of the things that I can. Now, I might not make all of the kids' basketball games, football games, dance recitals, because a lot of the times that stuff is on the week. But if it's in advance and I know if you're having a tooth pull, a party, you need to pick up, you need me to mail something for you, you having a shindig, you're getting baptized, whatever the case is, we try to make sure that we support our family and our friends. And so my personal journal for this week is a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit aggressive just because I'm looking for that same support in return. Now, when we started on the journey of saying that we wanted to start a podcast, we told our family and our friends about the podcast. And, that we were starting. We were all excited, and everybody was all excited for us. And I don't know who out there is listening and who out there is not listening as far as family and friends are concerned, but I do know, that people listen to the podcast based off of the conversation. Because I'll even say something, I'll say, oh, yeah, because I said that in the podcast. Remember when I said that in the podcast? If you don't remember, that means you're not listening. Right. Now, is this a state property, Beanie Siegel, get down and lay down type of situation? No, it's not. Not in the least bit. Bibi, you probably didn't get that reference. But
I know that one.
Got it. Okay, I was going to say, for those of you that got it. So we're not giving people the get down or lay down speech. However, we are looking for support. We expect that our family and our friends are going to be the ones that support us, if nobody else supports us. And so this week I want to focus on trying to reach out to more people for support, try to get my mind clear where I don't start doing the tick for tack, because that's not who I am as a person. When I do something for you, I do it because I want to do it. I don't do it because I'm looking for something in return. I'm not going to come to your baby's first birthday party because I'm looking for you to support the podcast. That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking for you to support the podcast because you recognize, A, that it's good, B, who it is, and we show up and show out for everybody, and we expect the same in return. So I'm focused this week on coming to the realization that strangers will support you more than people who you actually know. And again,
right,
I will
and claim to like you.
Right. I will say this again. I want to reiterate this. This is not a Beanie Siegel get down and lay down. Listen to the podcast or us, because I believe that this podcast is going to be blessed, and whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. We didn't start out this journey because we were looking for something,
Right.
We didn't start out this journey because we wanted to get money. We didn't start out this journey because we wanted to get recognition. We didn't start out this journey to do any of those things. However, support is free, and we do it well. So we're looking for the same in return, and I don't think that that's too much to ask. So I want
our support is free, but the support we be doing be costing a lot of money. But anyway, I understand.
But I'm talking about the free support right now
that we can get, right.
So, support is free. I want to, again, focus on getting my mind together where I could come up with realistic ways to get people to support, and then also not get to the tick for tack, you ain't do this, so I'm not going to do that type of mind. And, that's where I'm at with my personal journal for this week. And so if you are listening to the podcast, thank you. We appreciate you so much, for listening to us and taking this journey with us. That's what I got for this week. How about you?
I think you articulated that very well.
Thanks.
I think that you articulated that very well. It's in a very calm and very matter of fact, way, because we do a lot for people. And I tell people all the time when they say something to me, I say, oh, clearly you don't listen to the podcast. I say it all the time, and they be like, oh, I'm on this episode, or oh, I'm on that episode, or I do this or whatever. Because I don't say, I just say, clearly you don't listen to the podcast. And then for the people that I know do, because they'll send me a text message like something about the what? They're like, I've listened to episodes. I'm like, oh, okay, So, but when somebody says something, and I'm like, because if they listen, they would have made some kind of reference to it, because I know we brought up. So I do call people on it all the time, and no one is obligated to listen to the podcast. But it does seem
listen because you want to listen,
right? And no. For some people, I'm sorry. I thought, okay, go ahead. Listen, go ahead. No, listen because you want to listen.
Listen because you want to listen, but support us because we continuously support you.
Exactly.
I want people to want to listen to the show. I don't want to force the show on anyone. I don't want to make it seem like I'm forcing you to listen to the show because you are my family or because you are my friend. That's not the point. So I want you to want to listen to the show. However, on the strength, you should be listening anyway, because there's no way. And I preach this all the time to a friend of mine, to a lot of friends, actually. Don't put your perceptions on other people. What you would do does not mean that they would do it, right? So on the strength, if I had a friend that had a podcast, a family member that had a podcast, I'm listening to it on the strength. I don't even care if I don't listen to it. I'm going to let it play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm going to listen to it on the strength. But so I want people to want to listen to it, but you should want to support it because,
I agree. I agree. And like I said, I think you said it well, because sometimes you can really tell when stuff is getting on your nerves and you say it a certain way. But I think you articulated that very well. And my personal journal is very similar, as a matter of fact. So it is spring. Like the official first day of spring, and it is like the official first day of spring is the 20th. And I am very adamant about things that are lame, injured, crippled, stuff that's not either it's going to work out and be a success in the spring, it's going to bloom in the spring, or it's got to be killed off now. So I do, I struggle with my niceties. They say nice people finish last, and a lot of times it really does seem that way. But what I am doing now is I am writing out all of these thoughts so that I can get all the tension, the anger, the animosity, whatever it is. I'm writing out my thoughts about specific things so that I can have conversations with people because their situation is about to die. And as I'm writing the things out, and, somebody told me to do that. I was like, they say you don't like confrontation, but you can't let it go on. And I was like, yeah, and I don't want to get to the point where I just started off like, cussing and fussing, because that's what's going to happen. And she was like, well, write it first. Write it all out. And when you write, if you're still angry, write it again. So that when you have the conversation, all of the anger and the animosity and all of that comes out of it, and you're just very matter of fact. And this is how it makes me feel, and I don't appreciate that, and then you can get the things done. Because it really is time for some spring cleaning. Right. And so I've been doing that, and I feel much lighter. So there's one thing I took care of, and I feel much lighter. And I'm telling you, the 20th is tomorrow, and when I wake up on spring, like that is it. My tongue gets a little sharper because I'm only tending to things that's going to bloom.
Right.
And that is very important. And so, I encourage anyone to just look at things, and sometimes you just be trying to save something that can't be saved or whatever. Kill it, right. And move on. But if something's going to bloom, you can prune it. But if there's something that is lame and maimed and all, kill it and drop the luggage and move on. And I'm very excited about that. Very excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm feeling real free. I'm feeling real free and light.
I'm feeling that for you. Well, listen, I'm feeling that for you. Listen, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Remember, we're not our hair. I am not my hair. Hair is an accessory. Don't focus on what is good hair and what is bad hair. We all have great hair. Hair perception, how you perceive me, shouldn't matter. Does the cause have a value? Is it worth it? Well, to me it is. Not so much. You ain't spending the 5 on bundles. And men in hair, right. Accept us, know something about some hair before you date a woman. And we hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. Always remember to subscribe to the podcast. We can be found on iTunes, Google Play, Castbox, Stitcher, and YouTube. Or you can hit us up and watch the show and listen to the show on wonderfulmemedia.com. Remember, support the podcast. We need the support. I talked about that this week. We really do need the support. We need people to show up and show out. We need you to subscribe to the podcast, like the podcast, rate the podcast. Give us 5-star ratings. If you know us, definitely give us 5-star ratings. But be true to what you feel. If you're liking the show and if you're not liking the show, be true to yourself. But we need you to give us those ratings, comment on the show. We just need the support. We can be reached at our email for any questions, comments, or anything that you have. You have something that you want us to talk about. If you're liking the show, you're not liking the show, send us an email. We can be reached at wedidthatshit@gmail.com. Again, it's wedidthatshit@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. We can be found on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at We Did That Shit. Again, we're on all social media platforms. Hit us up there. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like about the show. We Did That Shit on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter. My MYMY13. That's MYMY13.
And I'm at Babiamina. That's BIBBIAMINA.
And we'll be here at the same time next week. And again, we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you support the show.
Remember, be great this week. Do that shit.
We Did That Shit podcast is produced and edited by Selena Singleton and brought to you by Wonderful Me Media. Wonderful Me Media. What's wonderful about you?